Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Another jig today to tie. We're going to do a little double coyote tail, some purple and blue, and also a little bit of blue and black silicone skirting. Making another nice little dirty water jig for you. So stick around, let's get to tying. All right, so we're going to start with the silicone skirting. So as you can see, it's already got the band around it. It's pre-made. And I'm just going to, so one end, this end here is a little longer than this end. So I'm going to start like this and just flare it out like that. And then I'm just going to stick the hook through the band there, and then just thread this on. And then I'm going to move it around to make sure that we got the right coverage everywhere that we want and need. But yeah, so it's as simple as that. And it's on there, And then what we'll do is I'm going to flip this upside down. Now I'm going to grab this bunch. So I don't need the silicone skirting as to come through this far on the jig. I just really want the silicone skirting for the collar. So what we're going to do is just snip some of these off, and so that I don't want them to impede with the coyote, because that's kind of the main thing that we're going for here. So I'm just going to snip these off, and I might even snip some more of that, and I'm going to save these pieces, because if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I sometimes do things like dubbing loop these in and stuff like that for different jigs. So I will save those. Those aren't going to go to waste or anything like that. And then we're just kind of left with this, and I might even trim that up a bit more, but I don't think it'll be that big of a thing. But yeah, we'll just give that a bit more of a trimming. But there still needs to be some sticking out, just because I don't want the silicone to slip through on the other side either. And then obviously we'll stick this in the vise, and then we will get we'll get our thread on there and tie it down a little tighter and that type of thing. So yeah, so we'll leave it like that. Stick her in the vise here, clamp it down, and get our 210 flat wax on here. Just rolling with black today. Seems to make sense for a black and blue jig. Well, actually I guess blue and purple, but obviously there's a black in there too. And we'll just get our base going here. And I'm making sure that that's pretty tight on here. Because you could have also put down some whatever you use for your glue or resin or whatever, to make sure that the silicone stays in place, obviously. But I think if I just tie this nice and tight here, I'm trying to look for a clamp here, but I don't think I have one in the vicinity at the moment. But yeah, just wrapping this around like this a couple times, and I'm giving it some extra snugs to make sure that that's tight. And then I'm going to come down as I would normally, and just wrap the rest of these down and work my way down the rest of the shank of the hook as you would normally when you're laying your thread base. And it doesn't matter if some of these are sticking out here like this, that won't matter anything. But yeah, and then I'll come back up. And I also want to make sure I have a good thread base like behind the rubber stopping there too, just to also prevent the skirt from sliding around and moving and stuff like that. So all right, so we're gonna leave it there. Well, actually I'll bring it back all the way to the base of the head there, and then we'll work this back up a bit. Yeah, and now we're going to start tying in our coyote tail. And I'm going to try and do it so that we have, you know, blue on top or purple on top and blue on the bottom, kind of do like the half-half kind of deal. I'm not going to mix them. So yeah, we're going to get started with that. All right, so we're just going to start to layer in our coyote tail here. I'm going to start with the purple up top here. Making sure that it's... So the coyote tail is quite... I mean, it flattens down really nice when you're tying it. It's not... it doesn't tend to bulk up too much, so... which is nice. So I'm just going to layer it on there, and then we'll do the underside with the blue coyote tail. And I'm trying to get as long pieces as I can here. And again, just trying to pull out some of that stuff that's not as nice from there. Yeah, and then just... And then we'll just do the same with the underside with the blue. Same thing, looking for some of the longer pieces on this tail. I think I'll just take kind of from the middle. I like the color best there. I'm just trying to split the hook here as best I can. Ooh, caught myself pretty good there on the hook. The hazards of jig tying. All right, now I just have my second clump of blue hair here, and again just trying to split the hook here as best I can without also gouging my finger. And we'll just, there we go. And then we'll just keep building the jig up like this, so flipping it back and forth to make sure we're building blue on this side and purple on the bottom, and just working our way up the shaft. Pretty kind of standard. And also making sure that we're getting the sides in there as well. All right, so I changed my mind. We're actually going to build some blue up on the side here first before we do the underside again. And yeah, really wish I had a smaller clamp there. It's kind of good. I don't know if this is helping, if it's doing more harm than good, but oh well. Awkward. Oh well. We're getting there. And now we will try to work that around a little bit. Maybe put a little bit of blue along that side there. So it may not be a perfect half and half, but hey, the fish won't care. That much I know. Yeah, now I can pretty much just continue up to the top of the collar here, and then just do my last round of hair around, and then we'll be getting close to finished. Yeah, so this is shaping up pretty good here. Just probably, yeah, a few more rounds of each thing. I'm gonna maybe one more thing of blue here on the top, and then we'll switch it over and with purple, and then we'll be very, very close to being complete. And now I'm right about where I want to be, which is good. Try and work that around a little bit. We'll do a patch on each side here, perhaps. And then, yeah, we're getting there, bit by bit. All right, so I finished tying in the purple on top here, and I would say we are done as far as the tying goes. We're just gonna whip finish it now, and then we're gonna give the silicone skirting a little bit of a trim. And I think I might take this off while I whip finish, but yeah. Well, we might, I don't know. Will we give the silicone skirting a trim? We'll see. I might not. All right, let's see what this black or purple and blue jig does for us. We're just going to get her saturated here. Slowly filter to the bottom. Yeah, it's kind of a unique look. That coyote tail hair really fans out well in the water. And of course the silicone skirting also splays out really nice. And if we swim it around a little bit, it's a very also a very buoyant jig as well. I think that coyote tail hair is pretty it catches a lot of water on the way down because of how much it flares out. So it'll also be a really slow sink jig. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Work on the bottom here a bit, but really slow fall. I might actually, for fun here, I might compare it to, I got the Arctic hair, the Arctic fox jig just close by here, so maybe I'll compare both of them. But yeah, lots of action, flares out a lot, and yeah, swimming it around here a bit. My tank's obviously not that big to swim things around, but you get the picture. It's it puffs up, as opposed to sucking in along the shank of the hook. The coyote tail hair actually flares out, which is really, really cool. But let me grab the Arctic fox hair here, and we'll do a little comparison as far as sink rate goes. Stand by. All right, I have the Arctic fox hair jig here and the coyote tail jig here, and we're going to do the same thing as I did last time with the Arctic fox and silver fox. We're just gonna, I have them resting here at the top of the of my little tank, and I'm just gonna let go of the line on each of them, and we're just gonna do a little test to see which one sinks faster. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Wow. So the coyote tail, it appears, sinks even slower than the Arctic fox hair. That's interesting. We're gonna do that again. Real quick here, just to make sure that, you know, all things being equal, making sure I have them sort of at the same. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So there you have it. So coyote tail sinks even slower than the Arctic fox, which the Arctic fox sank slower than the silver fox. So interesting. Take that for what it's worth. I would say that the water temperature in my little tub here is probably a little cooler than room temperature, or whatever you want to call that. But yeah. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the views. I appreciate the new subscriptions every week. If you like the video, please give it a like. Feel free to comment anything you like there, or if you have any suggestions or ideas for anything, please let me know. Other than that, take care. Hope you folks are all doing well, and we'll see you next time.